Hello, good evening, and welcome to my stream tonight. I'm going to make a little short video stream for a few people tonight, and my intention was to just go solo, but I bottled out, guys. I really did. So I've got a guest with me tonight, and the guest is Adrian.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, you've helped me out, so why don't I help you out as well as vice versa for you?
Well, thank you ever so much. I did have an offer from Chris Davis, and so sorry about that, Chris, but we'll have you on another time. Okay, so we'll have that shot, shall we? Like that, and then my show tonight will be about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, maybe even an hour. We can spread it out to, as it says in the on the heading, it says unboxing of gifts, and it says updates on our REDROUTEMASTERS and updates on our ROUTEMASTERS in general, and updates on things that you've not seen before, and a new PARTWORK that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at all that, all being well. So just waiting for the chat to load up, and then we'll go through the chat a bit and see who's nicely in the chat there. Oh, and it stopped scrolling. So there we go. There's me, of course. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hope you're all okay and keeping safe. And I really do mean that, guys, because it's important to keep safe and keep your mask on, keep social distancing, and do everything that you're supposed to do. So I've got Roy's the boy. Hi, Roy's the boy. Evening, all.
Hi, Roy.
And then we've got P40F20. Hi, all. Hi, P40F20.
Hi, P40F20.
And we've got Roy's the boy, and he says, hi, Adrian.
Thank you, Roy.
And then we've got part of the dream team as well, Gordy Dave. He says, hi, Dave and Adrian. So, hi, Gordy Dave.
Hi, Gordy Dave.
Gordy Dave. Then we've got Max Mods. Hi, Max Mods.
Hi, Mark.
Scroll down. Come on. Where's my comments gone? Come on. There we go. So, Dano Builds. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dano.
Hi, Dano.
And then we've got Warren James. Hi, all. Hi, Warren.
Hi, Warren.
And then we've got, oh, God, where did that go? Christine says, hello, everyone, on this dark and miserable night. It's a good job we have YouTube. Yes, it's a really good job we have YouTube, darling. It really is. Thanks for joining me, too. And we was listening to a lovely little wedding ceremony taking place in Ireland with Daniel O'Donnell earlier via YouTube, and that was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. He does sing rather nicely, does Daniel O'Donnell, and Mary Duff, and all the rest of the Irish singers across there. So we've also got Paul Wright. I'm here, Dave and Adrian. I'm here.
Hi, Paul Wright.
Hi, Paul. Glad you've come along. And is that it, or is there any more?
It looks like it.
Did I say hi to Mark? Hi, Mark. Hope
yes, you did.
Well. And I did notice, Mark, that you've done yet another ROUTEMASTER video today, and I'm really looking forward to looking at them now. I've got about 9 to watch now. So if it's going to be raining all weekend, I might get caught up and watching them instead of doing something else. Mind you, I might get into trouble as well if I'm just sat there watching videos, mightn't I? Right. Well, I think one of the first things we should do, and that is tell you about the things that's been sent to me over the last few weeks. And I think some of these things you've seen before, but we'll have another look. So I'll just change my camera and we'll have another look at what we've been sent. C920, there we go. Okay. So,
right, I'm going to click on the ID. Well, how about that?
Let's have a look. Yeah, that's okay. They've got you in the background then, that's fine.
Yep. That's what I
Right,
thought.
so Penelope's Pit Stop, Paint with Penny. She graciously sent everybody that was involved in the Routemaster show from issue 1 to 130 a little present. And she sent me and Christine two absolutely lovely little books. One's on the Spitfire and one's on the Lancaster Bomber. There are pocket manuals, and they range from 1939 to 45 for the Spitfire, and they range from 1941 to 45 for the Lancaster Bomber. The Spitfire is obviously very relevant because I'm doing the Hachette Spitfire, and we'll be getting on with that once we've finished the buses. And then the Lancaster Bomber one is also very relevant too, because we are building eventually a 90-inch wingspan Lancaster Bomber, and it's a long story, but it's a model that I've been wanting to build for many years. I've got the fuselage made, and I've got part of the wing structure made, and I've got all 4 engines, and I've got all the plans to finish the model, and all the wood and foam and everything else to finish the model. I just need the time and to actually sit down and do it. That's what I need to do. So, but these 2 manuals will come in very handy for telling people facts and figures all about the Spitfires or the Lancaster Bombers, and they'll be coming in handy for a reference for me for future as well, for looking into the model structure and what have you. So Paint with Penny, Penelope's Pit Stop. Penny, thank you ever so much for that. That's much appreciated. Okay, so we were sent a little Routemaster, a single deck Routemaster via Fleetwood J. Fleetwood J was looking on eBay one day, and he said, "Oh, I know that's going to go too." So he kindly bought it for me and sent it me. It's actually a corgi. It's a Great Britain corgi as well, which is unusual. So that means it's quite an elderly corgi, but it does have the whiz wheels, what we call the plastic whiz wheels. So, but somebody spent some time on that, making a single decker Routemaster. I think it's Routemaster 66. I'm not sure. I can't remember now, or is it 136? I get mixed up with all the names and numbers, but I do know that there is a single decker Routemaster. There's only one of them, and this is a model of one of them. So Fleetwood J, that's very kind of you for sending me this. Thank you ever so much, and it will go in my Red Routemaster collection, which is obviously what we're talking about later on tonight. So I was sent this also within the last fortnight, and this is a Routemaster BT telephone. I've only actually seen one of these in the past, and not very many around, I do believe. They're quite a rare item. So fellow member and fellow friend David Hanger sent me this, said, "Do I want it for my Red Routemaster collection?" So I said, "Yes, please, thank you ever so much." He said, "Well, you'll have to find a wire and a lead for it," so which I have done, and I've tested it on our telephone system, and it won't work. So I'm going to be sending this to a good friend of mine who also does a YouTube channel, and I'm going to ask him if he can actually get it to work for me. But yeah, it's rather unusual. You take the top deck off, and there's your keypad for dialing all your numbers, and you obviously speak through there and you listen through there. It's got on-off buttons and redial and a flash, so when it's got batteries in, you can flash the lights on the Routemaster, and when it rings, it actually gives a dinging sound like a bell. So rather novel, and I'm going to try and get it going. And we're going to set up my son one night and say, "The phone's ringing, would you just go and answer the phone?" So anyway, that's another story. But David Hanger, thank you ever so much for that. I'm going to treasure it and look after it in my Red Route Master collection. So that's wonderful. Thank you ever so much for that. So, and one last thing that I'll show you. I am working on my bus, and we're going to be looking at Christine's bus and my other bus shortly tonight. But I'm working on my bus as well. And I've got the back painted for it. So this is the East Yorkshire Route Master, of course. So it's given me a bit of a headache because I needed to know width of lines and everything else. It's all guesswork around the rear end of the bus. So you're guessing where where the bottom strip goes, because that's the natural strip of the cream strip on the red double decker, but the top strip is all guesswork and you have to look at photographs and everything. So, but I think I've got it pretty much right now, and all I need now is a destination to go behind there. I've got the plastic in, and I just need a destination to go behind there, which is obviously route applicable to Hull, and not London, because this is going to be a Hull bus and not a London bus. So yeah, once I get this on the bus, it will be up to the issue that Christine is up to, and that is issue 112. And our next issues from then will be 113, and that will take us on to the rear emergency door upper deck. So we'll be both on pretty much exactly the same issue once I get this on. Right. And I think, as you all know as well, we've picked up our magazines, issue 130 for the Route Master. They're sadly the last issues for the Route Master, but we picked them up this week, and there's little bits that I need to paint for both mine and Christine's bus, but they shouldn't pose any problems to me whatsoever, really. I can see that they're going to be all right. The only things that we won't be using on either of our buses is the front adverts, and we'll talk a little bit more about them a little bit later on, because I actually have the Red Route Master right here in front of me that I'm going to show you all with the front adverts on, which I'm not very happy about, but we'll discuss that a bit later on, shall we? So unboxing. Well, I received this absolutely ginormous box from a supporter of mine, Paul 61C70. Paul, thank you ever so much. For quickness, I've actually scored the top, and I don't know whether you can actually see or not, but I'm going to have to move the box away from the camera and pop it on my knee, and you'll have to just bear with me just a minute or so while I undo this box. I am honestly undoing this box, guys. I will lift the camera a bit, then you can probably see, hopefully. So, and one thing I noticed straight away was that this is packed with some rather strange bubble wrap, which is really unusual. And there's a distinct smell that comes out of this box, which is old garage smell. It's like I think we used to call it gunk in the old days, for cleaning engines, for cleaning car engines and bus engines and such like. You used to spray a bit of gunk on, and then wash it off with some warm water, and or steam clean it off, and your engine used to come up looking like new. So I think it's probably got some car parts in there recently, and but here we are. So it's packed it really rather nicely and tightly into this box, which is rather good. And if I move the camera slightly that way again, I'll get it so that you're on the desk. Can you see the desk all right there, Adrian?
Yes.
Jolly good. Okay. Well, the first thing that popped out of this box was a packet of biscuits. Some fruit and lemon biscuits from Rington's. Wow, I absolutely love them, and so does Christine too. But they are a bit naughty, you know. They are a bit naughty. A moment on the lips is a lifetime on the hips, isn't it? So, and then the second thing out of this box was some fruit jellies, also from Rington's. Wow, and they are so Moorish, as we say here in Yorkshire. They're very Moorish. So yeah, they are lovely. I do love a fruit jelly, and especially sugar coated ones as well, because they are, oh, the lush. They really are. So thank you ever so much for that, Paul. And then something rather strange, which caught my eye, and I don't know whether you can see all right, or is this light putting you off? Can you see all right, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to spoil
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah, it's
Is that
better.
better? Right, yeah, we've got a bit of light flash there, didn't we? So, yeah, this is uh, finest English teas, traditions of Britain. And look on the end here, there's even a tin with a bus on it. I don't know whether you can pick that up. But yeah, we've got a bus in a small tin, and then we've got a post box and a telephone box, and it's all got tea in it as well. Finest English afternoon teas and breakfast teas, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that. Being a Yorkshireman, of course, I am. I will drink tea all day long. The kettle's on 24/7, more or less. So thank you ever so much for that, Paul. And then we've got something that's rather strange, and that's I do believe it's a poster, or posters, or some information to do with Blue Eagle coach tours. And wow, that must be a very rare poster. So Blue Eagle coach tours of Jersey, and the Eagle Blue Eagle bus tours of Jersey, and it's round the island coach tours, and the fare there, don't know whether you can pick it up, the fare is 12 and 6, and that's in old money, of course. So if anybody knows what 12 and 6 is, pop it in the chat, and we'll reminisce about the old money when there was actually 240 pence in every pound, wasn't they, pre-decimal. So yeah, so that's a lovely, lovely poster, which I'll look after. And then he sent me a postcard too. And this might be a little bit more difficult to pick up on this camera, but this is actually Dublin in Ireland. I'm not sure whether this camera will pick it up. Can you see that, Adrian?
Yes.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, if I move it a little bit closer. Yeah, so that's Dublin in Ireland, and there's all Leyland PD2s in the background. Leyland PD2s are my favourite bus, apart from the Routemaster, of course, but Leyland PD2s, yeah, wonderful. And I can only just imagine the street scene and being on that street scene and listening to all them lovely Leyland 0600 engines going by. Be absolutely wonderful. So, how we used to live in the 1950s, lovely. In fact, that would be early 1960s. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you ever so much. Right, and then it sent me Jersey Motor Transport summer timetable, and the price of that was 25 shillings. Was it be on, or is it 9 pence, 9D? Yeah. So Jersey Motor Transport, and it tells you all about the routes in what's the date again? 1967, 14th of May, 1967. Well, it's not quite as old as what I am, but it's getting there. But this is a bus timetable, and gives you all the routes. Rosal Bay Weybridge bus station, and a few other lovely, lovely places. So Weybridge bus station, Greavedy Lake, and several other places of interest in Jersey. Absolutely fantastic. So, shall we just go back to comments for a minute?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just bring these up in a comment. Okay. Okay, so Wells of Mike Productions. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Keep watching because we've got some surprises in store. And I'm just unboxing a box that was sent to me recently. So anyway, keep watching.
Good evening, Mike.
Right. Okay. So we've got a British flag. Yeah, Great British flag. You don't see many of these nowadays neither. And it's actually a Union Jack tea towel. And I think what I'm going to do with this, my friend, is I'm going to use it as a cover for one of these Route Masters. And because they're all going to have separate covers. And I'm thinking of getting the old sewing machine out and stitching with the help of Christine, of course, doing some stitching and making some temporary covers just to go over them, just to stop the dust when we take them out on show. And of course, they'll be in protective boxes, but when you move them from the protected box to the show table, I like to cover things up and then uncover them, and then you can cover them up at the end of the day, and it keeps dust and fingerprints off them. And so I think that's what we're going to do with that, Paul. So thanks ever so much. And whoa, what have we got here? Well, we've actually got an issue 7 of Build the Route Master. Well, this does not take me back, it does. So yeah, issue 7 of Build the Route Master. And if anybody can remember what issue 7 was, it's the front brake disc and the front brake parts. I think you can see the parts in there. So, and I think what Paul's idea is that I actually asked for bits that I could show people when we was telling them about our Route Masters, how they was built, what bits did you get, etc. And you know, I mean, this is all sealed in its bag and everything, so I could actually give that to somebody to look at and say, well, that's how we got the brake disc, you know, and that's they can feel the weight of the brake disc and they can see the small screws and everything, and you know, so that's ever so handy. Thank you ever so much for that, Paul. And wow, look at this. And this must be from issue 6, I think, Adrian, is it? This is the front beam axle.
Yes.
Yeah, that takes me back a long while. The front beam axle, I think it's issue 6. And we've got the screwdriver in there, the Hachette screwdriver, and the front beam axle, and all the axle bars and everything for the springs. And yes, that'll be something else that we can hand around and say, well, there's the front axle, and they're then going to get an idea of how much weight's involved in these buses, because there is an awful lot, isn't there? And then I thought that was it, and then I uncovered another layer in this box, and I was very, very surprised to see some models. And so Paul kindly sent me some models to go with my Red Route Master collection, which they'll go into. Paul, thank you ever so much. And the first one I found was this one, which was a corgi. It's an original corgi of London Transport Route Master, patented in Great Britain. And what's unusual about this one is that it hasn't got the whiz wheels, so this is pre-whiz wheels, and it's got the more lifelike London Transport transfer. It's got the outspan orange adverts on each side, which I believe Peter Curtin's now doing on for the big Route Master, isn't he? Adrian, he's now producing that as Peter Curtin, the outspan orange adverts. But
Yes, he
more
is.
but more importantly with this one, can you actually see the driver? I don't know whether I can put the light on. Is that any better or worse? I think it's worse, isn't it? Let's try. Yeah, I don't know whether it's better or worse, Adrian. What do you think? So
That could be a little bit better.
it could be a little bit better, yeah. So we've got the driver in there in the cab, and this is supposed to be represent 176 scale or thereabouts. It's actually a little bit larger than 176, but also on the back platform is the conductor or conductress. There she is on the back platform, and that is going to go lovely with the Harshett Routemaster, with the Red Routemaster collection. It really is. So yeah, thank you ever so much for that, my friend. And it's going to be treasured, is that one? Definitely, most definitely. Complete with all its wheels and tires. And look at the underneath. It looks absolutely brand new underneath. It's obviously been played with. It's what we call a careworn. It's in careworn condition, played with condition. It's got the corgi adverts on the front, the outspan orange on the sides, and it's going on route number 10, I believe. So yeah, route number 10. So that's the corgi one. And then there's another one, and this one is this one's actually made in China. I don't know by who, but I think it'll be a copy. These will all be the copies of the corgi ones, because China tried to copy all the corgi ones, and they wasn't very successful. There was a bit more of a toy, really. You know, the bonnets are all different, and the bodywork's all different, and obviously the wheels are whiz wheels, and they're just a bit more chunkified, if you like, than if that's a word, than a proper corgi model. But having said that, they was very popular, especially with children. Children collected a lot of them. So that's a Chinese one that he sent, and then he sent me another one, which is also another Chinese one, which is identical to that last one, except for this one's got more of the transfers left on them. So there's a British flag there, and it's going to Tower Bridge, and it's got whiz wheels as well. It's obviously had a bit of a wear life because the front axle's not very good, but still, it's Red Routemaster, and it's going in the Red Routemaster collection. Then it sent me this one, which was another highly unusual one. This one, it's, as you can tell, it's very sparse. There's hardly any detail. It's got seats inside. If you can see, that is, it's got seats, but it's all like, it's cast like in two halves. Right down the center of the roof there, and right underneath, it's in two halves. So they've cast it in two halves and then molded the two halves together to make a bus. And it's made by a company called Lone Star, I believe. So yeah, Lone Star, and Lone Star, made in England. And there was a little bit cheaper version than the original corgis. So, but you can see the difference there in scale and size. Yeah, and I haven't actually got either the old corgi or a Lone Star Routemaster, but I have now. Thank you ever so much, Paul. And then we got a rather sorry looking London Transport London Routemaster on a sightseeing tour, open top Routemaster. Again, it's made in China, but it does actually say number 61051 London Bus, and this time it's slightly better detailed than the younger Chinese ones, and it says it's on the number 9, and it says wonderful holiday. So yeah, I think you'd have a wonderful holiday sightseeing around London. And yeah, it's all there, except for the front axle's taken a bit of a battering. But we'll try and do something with that, Paul. I'm pretty sure I can, because it's got a stud screwdriver thing there and one at the back, so I should be able to sort that out. And I may even repaint it as well, because it looks a bit a little bit tatty, but I think perhaps repainted it would be okay. Right, so there's that one, and then this one we've got really bright silver. This one, it might be too silvery for my light. I might have to turn my light out in a minute. In fact, I will. There we are. Is that any better? You see it
Yes.
shining. You see
Yes,
it shining.
it is.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, this is another Lone Star REDROUTEMASTER, built by Lone Star, and it's another one of them that's cast in two halves. You can see the casting line straight down the center and down the back and down the top of the roof and down the front, and it's cast in one half that side, one half that side, and then welded together. And in actual fact, it's riveted together, because you can see the rivets in the side there. So the two halves are riveted together. And yeah, that's a silver one, and I think it's supposed to represent the silver jubilee of the Queen's silver jubilee, because there was a silver one and there was a gold one. There was a gold one for the golden jubilee and the silver one for the silver jubilee of the Queen, of course. And then there was a purple one for the diamond jubilee too, as well. So yeah, wow. So thank you for that, Paul. And then the very last one from this box, which really surprised me. I'll just put that box down a minute, which was a Bedford OB, a Bedford OB coach, which has to be my all-time favourite coach, is the Bedford OB coach, or the OWB. It was built in 1939 onwards, and there was a period bus that ran in OWB form, which had wooden slatted seats during the war, and they kept Britain running. And this is one that was built just after the war, so this will be 1949, I would have thought. So these were built just after the war with this duple style bodywork. So actually, my dad had a couple of these in the 1970s. One that he used for spares, and one that he took to rallies. And we spent many happy hours in that Bedford OB coach. They have a characteristics all of their own. A 6-cylinder petrol engine and a 4-speed gearbox. And when you're in a Bedford OB, they have a what's called, you have to double declutch the clutch because they have a crash gearbox, and the whining sound that comes out of a Bedford OB coach when it's on full chat, either going down the road between first, second, third, and fourth, or climbing a hill or descending a hill, you really are in vintage style of class of coach in a Bedford OB coach. They really do sound absolutely wonderful, really vintage sounding, and just a pure pleasure to be riding in. There was generally 29 seaters, so the Medham was 29 seaters, and the production ran about for about 3 years, but that's about all for the OB style. For the OWB, ran from 39 to about 42, 44. Sorry. So yeah, the OWB was what they call the utility one with the wooden slatted seats. These the OBs with the dual body coachwork had really nice seats in them, maquette seats, and as I said, there was all about 29 seaters. Yeah, what a lovely, lovely coach. And that's a Cargi 2, and that's a Cargi 1/50th scale. So it's a little bit bigger than the normal 1/76 scale, but it's 1/50th. And again, I haven't got one, Paul, so thank you ever so much for that. And it's going to Whitby as well. So it's actually Howard's of Whitby. So and it's going to Whitby, which is in Yorkshire. So yeah. So thank
There's a
you ever
couple of
so much
comments
for
in
that.
chat, by the way.
Right, yeah, I'm coming back to the chat now, and then I'll have a little drink as well. So, oh, where are we? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Rise the Boy, great gifts. Yes, well, I've obviously I showed yours on a previous one, Roy, which I'm ever so grateful for too. Roy sent me a London Transport RTW, which was a lovely, lovely model. In fact, it's actually right at the very top of my cabinet behind me. So I won't get it down right now. So yeah, and I've just answered that because he said, where did you put the bus I sent you? Well, I'll show you in a second or two when I change cameras. It's right on top of my cabinet. And Fleetwood J, nice to join us, Fleetwood J. Just made a brew. Your gifts look amazing. Well done. Thank you ever so much. Well, thank you ever so much for your gifts too, Fleetwood J, because you have been an absolute gent sending me this, that, and the other. So thank you ever so much. And Rise the Boy says, my dad was a conductor on the number 9. Oh, right. Okay, the number 9 route. So I bet he could have told you some stories as well, could he? About the number 9 route and what they used to get up to. So just change my camera quickly while you're around, Roy. And then I'll show you where this bus is. Come on, there we are. So if you look, you can't really see it, but if you look to the right, to the left, there is a bus up there that's actually yours, and a bus that I bought as well. That's the one I bought, and I think yours is over that direction, right on top of the cabinet, next to that trophy. And so yeah, that's that up there. Right, go back to my webcam. And then what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to show you the buses that I've got on the Lazy Susan, because that's like my signature in a way, is my Lazy Susan. And we'll go to full screen, full camera, solo layout, screen, we are, and we'll move the camera. So tell me when you can see it. Okay.
Just move the camera a little bit to the right a bit.
Okay.
There you go. That's
yeah.
central now.
Yeah, that should be central. So I'll just have a slurp of my tea. All right, that's coming round. So this is Christine's bus, the Chili beer. We've been working on the back end. We've got all this back end painted. We need to put the emergency door in. And we've got on the Lazy Susan now my REDROUTEMASter, which was kindly donated to me. And it was donated to, well, not me, but me and Christine. It was donated to us both. And we've built it over 6 months. From issue 1 to issue 130. And if you've been watching the ROUTEMASTER show, we actually did issue 129, I think it was, with the indicators, didn't we, Adrian?
Yes, you did.
Issue 29 with the indicators, yeah. Well, I did issue 130 with the mirrors and the stickers a couple of days after that, and then finished it off entirely. So that's absolutely complete now, so it doesn't need anything else doing to it. Both buses, well, actually all 3 of our buses are on the David Buckingham bases, and they fit the David Buckingham bases absolutely superbly. The really solid firm foundations for your bus, and it's good to be able to have the choice to be able to mod the bottoms as well. You can put like Steve-O does, he's put mirror tiles on the bottom and lights and everything, and then he's put his AC sticker on, and it gives that the bus another element so you can show them. Well, yeah, we've got the conductress here on the back end of the platform of the bus. All the passengers are inside on this one, and as you can see, as it's going round, you've got the old lady down here. You've got what we call Mr. Archette, the pipe smoking man, bowler hatted man up top there. The lovers, as we call them, and they're there, the beatnik boy and girl. And we've got the young lad right at the top, and then we've got the driver in the cab in this one. So that's 100% complete up to issue 130. And I tell you what, it is absolutely wonderful. If you said you was going to do this model and you stopped halfway through or something for whatever reason, then really you have missed out. You know, if you can possibly do this model, then please carry on and do it, because it is really well worth it. Not just for the money point of view, but for what you get this massive model of a Routemaster, and it's as close as it can get really for a Routemaster, especially when you're looking at this sort of thing as well in model form and in 1/76 scale. So, and you can, and nowadays I think the 1/76 scale models are selling for about 30 or 40 pounds. So yeah, you don't get an awful lot for your money really on a 1/76 scale. But for these, you know, the 27.5 inches long, the 14.5 inches high, they're 8 inches wide, and on the David Buckingham base, we've actually weighed this one. This one's 16.2 kilograms in weight. So yes, it is very heavy, very heavy. You're not going to stick it on an IKEA shelf, I don't think.
I wouldn't.
No, I don't think I would neither. So anyway, let's go back onto Christine's bus. Christine's bus is up to issue 112. And whereas mine's just about to go up to issue 112. We painted all the front panels, and we started with the gold strips around the front there as well, and putting the red stripe on, and we started carrying that on around the back here. Hopefully you can see all right. I might turn my light a bit, that might be a bit better, I don't know. Yeah, the red strip had to be hand painted back on, and then the gold strips had to be red hand painted. We used the original destination to go in this, because after all it is a London bus, and then there's the emergency exit to put in, which we have all the issues now to finish both mine and Christine's buses, and same as this one. So to me it's a dream coming true. It's more than a dream coming true. This model, I was looking at it in its infancy before any pictures arrived on the internet or anything. It must have been about 4 years back now or more, and I got a sniff that somebody was talking about it, and you know, they was going to do it, and I followed the story to it about a year before it actually came out. I actually saw a picture of this model that somebody had shared, and I think they really shouldn't have shared it, but they did. So I saw a picture of this model, and they shared it, and I was hooked from then on, because there's actually nothing around that's in 1/12 scale until now. And yeah, the 1/12 scale really does appeal to me, because it's there, it's so big, it's ginormous, you know, it's in your face, it's a massive model, and it's a statement producing model. You know, if you're going to have this stood in a cabinet, if you're going to have it in a bespoke coffee table, for instance, or something like that, you are producing a statement that, you know, you like buses, or you love the Route Master, or you love London, or you love the area, or you just love the AEC Route Master as is, or the company, or whatever. You're making a statement with this model because it's just so lovely. And I can't say enough about it, really, because you all know how I feel about this model. I've lived and breathed for it now for 2.5 years gone, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed every last minute of it, really. We've got quite a bit of work to do on both of these buses to finish them. There's all the side panels to do, and all the wiring's done now. All the side panels to do, so obviously they're to paint and then put on. And that's the worst bit, is putting the panels on the bus, because every screw that you put in, you have to repaint the screw, or touch the screw up minutely with the paint that you've used to paint it, because you do actually scratch the paint surface off the paint when you're actually screwing it into the bus. So you've got to be very gentle and very careful, and repaint pretty much every screw that you pop in. And guys, if you haven't done this model, then you haven't got a clue what I'm on about with screws. But this is all screwed together, and it's taken a total of more than 3,000 screws, so in each model. And it's you know, it's 2,000 pieces, so there's just about 2,000 pieces in each model, 3,000 screws. So you've put your heart and soul into this model by the time you've got it to this stage. You really have. And so you need it looking its absolute best if you possibly can. With Christine's bus and with my bus, we're actually on with the strips on the front. There's the strip on the front, if you can see that in my hand, and that's the red strip you get with the normal red for the REDROUTEMASTER red. And on both of our models, Christine wants a gold strip putting on the front, and I want a blue strip putting on the front of my bus. And that's because we've remodeled the front grill, upper grill, just below the destination blind, and it needs a strip on. So we're going to pop these strips on when they get painted in the correct place, and then that'll make the front ends look just that little bit better. We're also bespoke in making the AEC badges for both my bus and Christine's bus. As you notice on the Hachette one, because it's an older REDROUTEMASTER, it has a round badge on the front there and doesn't have a triangle, whereas Christine's bus here, it's representing a newer model, a C registered one, so it would have the triangle London Transport triangle badge on, and not the round badge. And then my bus belonging to East Yorkshire, after it come out of service with London Transport, my bus would have had an AEC badge on the front, a triangle AEC badge. So we have to bespoke them each individually. We can't run them as the models were ran in production. We have to modify them slightly. So I hope you like that. I've got some new comments.
Yeah, there's a couple more.
Yeah, I'll just bring them up in a slight bit. If I can find the. Okay, there we are. Right, so Rise the Boys. I drove lorries in the army with crashed gearboxes. Yeah, very interesting, right? I had a couple of buses with crashed gearboxes, and I had a Bedford Green Goddess fire engine, and I thought that originally had a crashed gearbox, but it actually didn't. It had a synchro mesh box. which is quite surprising. So, what's the tattoo on your arm, Dave? Royce the boy says. Well, actually, it's a tiger. Would you like to see it? I'll show you in a minute. And Paul Wright says, it's absolutely my pleasure, Dave. Glad you like them. Well, thank you ever so much, my friend. Thank you ever so much. Really is appreciated. Thank you. And Matt Smod says, you're going to need to get another cabinet. What great gifts to get. The community is so kind. Me and Julie are watching you and Adrian on the big TV for our date night. Well, thank you ever so much for joining me tonight, Mark and Julie, and enjoy the rest of your night too. Thank you. And yes, it's a lovely community. It really is. Christine said, it's a tiger, Roy. I'm sure Dave will show you when he sees the comment. Yeah, I will do. I will show you in a little bit. Bedford's Dave I drove. Right, okay. Bedford RL types or probably be QLs would have been RLs, O types, OS types, something like that maybe. And Rise Boy says yes. Yeah, okay, right. Let me get rid of that comment and then I'll switch cameras quickly and then we'll move on a little bit further. God, doesn't time move fast when you're having fun?
Yes, it does.
Well, Rise the Boy and everybody else, there's my tiger. So, yeah. There is a story behind it. I've had it quite a few years now. So, yeah. There's my tiger. Yeah, it goes with me everywhere, obviously. And it's cheap to keep as well. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a little story behind it. My mum-in-law, bless her, she left me a little bit of money to do with what I wanted. So I love tigers, and I said, well, if I have a tiger on my arm, tattooed on my arm, I will never forget my mum-in-law, and I'll never forget her anyway. But no, so it reminds me of Mary. So there we are. Right, let's go back to the camera. Let's go back to the chat, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, Rise the Boys, no lorries. Okay. All right, so it would have been Bedford lorries, and Rise the Boys is very nice. I'd love another tattoo, but I don't know what to get. P40F20 says, beautiful buses, Dave, just beautiful. Well, thank you ever so much, P40F20, and thank you also for your kind gifts in the past. You really have been so kind. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, they're not finished yet. They will be finished, I don't know, January, February, March next year, something like that. I'll keep doing little updates like this so you can see progress as it's going along. I've promised somebody, Mike, I think it was, about another engine video. So I've got a garage full of engines, and I've got to get one or two of them running. Of course, with COVID and everything, we've not been out this year at all to any shows or rallies because there hasn't been any. And so I've just neglected my engines really. I'm very busy at the moment decorating, and we're having to decorate the whole house. And I think there's this place and the kitchen and a few other places to do yet. So we've got a couple of other things to do. So Fleetwood J says, nice to see the bus garage. Yeah, and it's growing bigger almost daily, isn't it? So it's the bus garage, yeah. So I hope you like it. And of course, there's still some presents that you've sent that I've still got to add to the bus garage as well. We'll get there eventually, won't we? So Rise the Boy says they also drove an AC Militant. Wow, what an absolute beautiful piece of kit is the AC Militant. Was it a six-wheeler? the Militant, or was it a four-wheeler? The ones I've seen, there's been six-wheelers, and there've been the 11-litre engines, 11-litre AC diesel engines. What a wonderful, wonderful piece of kit they are. So Dave Bassett says, hi guys. Hi Dave Bassett. If you're new to the party, you'll have to watch later because I'm going to end it shortly. I've got a couple more things to show you, so keep watching. And I'll just six-wheeler, yeah, six-wheeler, right, yeah. A friend of mine in Yorkshire has just sold one of them, a six-wheeler AC Militant, and he did show us a couple of videos of it out on the road, and it sounded like a pussycat. It really did. It sounded lovely. Had the exhaust coming up the back of the cab and then pointing outwards, and yeah, what a lovely piece of kit. I used to know somebody who used to spill time the engines with just a spill, and if you don't know what I'm on about, it'll sound like gobbledygook, all that. So Dano builds cold tattoo. Should get a Routemaster one. Don't tempt me. Yeah, or a windmill. I like windmills too, because I am the great grandson of a miller. So yeah, I do like windmills and watermills, and that's close to my heart. So I've been thinking about that for the other arm. Right. Coco. Now, I can think of somebody, Adrian, that's going to say, you pimped my Coco.
Yes, that's if he's watching.
That's if he's watching. I bet you are. Aren't you, Gordy Dave?
Well, he hasn't commented yet.
No, he hasn't commented yet, no, so he might do. Excuse me while I have a cough. Okay, so now I've cleared my throat a little bit, we'll carry on. So we'll go back to camera, and I've just got a couple more things to show you, and then we'll wind things up. So let me go move cameras, and we'll go onto the camera there, and we'll go full screen when I can find it. There we go. Okay, and I'll bring my camera down in a second. I'll just have to clear the way for this, because obviously there's a lot of Routemaster buses in the way now. And we'll have a look at something else that's going to be interesting and coming to my channel as well, so which I hope you'll be interested in. And there we go. So okay, if I move this camera across and over and down and turn that light out, let's see if it comes into focus. We are going to be doing the Eddie Sturbart 1/12 scale build the classic haulage truck, and we have we're going to do this on a live build, and it'll be my first live build ever, and it'll be part of the dream team that does it. Me and part of the dream team, of course, will be Geordie Dave, Adrian, and Mark, and a few others. Will be popping along to help us, and we'll be building this week in, week out until we get this ginormous model built. But the idea about this, guys, is that, and the good thing about this is that these will go, because of the 1/12 scale, these will go with your Routemasters absolutely superbly. So if you're building a diorama, a roadway, or I actually know somebody who's going to be building 3 of these lorries, which is going to be amazing. So I hope he does manage to build 3 of them. So yeah, this is going to be the DAF 2200 series of lorry. It's going to be the rear twin axle one on a 5th wheel. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be named Twiggy because Twiggy was the first wagon that Eddie Starbar had that was named after a woman. So, and every one after that, apart from the odd one, I think there's one called Teletubby, isn't they? So, but I think pretty much everyone after that's been called after a woman. So we're going to be building Twiggy, the number one Twiggy, which was new in 1973, August 1973, because it's on an M plate registration. So that came out August 1973, and we're going to be building this, and then we'll be complementing this model with our Routemaster models and further models when we go to show them at exhibitions. So we're only going to be doing one of these guys because obviously we can't afford any more, and we'll be doing the Spitfire as well. So and we'll still be collecting REDROUTEMASTERS. So yeah, I think we've got enough on our plate really once we get that locked down, haven't we? So look out for that in the future. We have subscribed, and there's quite a few of us that have subscribed. It's from Harshette, so you can pop along to Harshette. We have got a Facebook group that's set up with all this information in, because this is issue 1, of course, at 199. Issue 2 is due out next week, apparently, and issue 2 will be £5 something, but the normal price is £8.99. So exactly how much it was for the bus, £8.99, and this it's 120 issues, so it's 10 issues shorter than the bus. But the model itself is more bigger than the bus. It's 125 centimeters or thereabouts in length, and I forget how many centimeters it is high. 32 centimeters, I think, high. It's quite a length and a height, because obviously it's representing a 40 feet wagon.
If you take off the last digit, basically, that's roughly what's in centimeters.
Yeah, I haven't got that to hand. Oh, yes, I have. I've got it on the back of this, haven't I? Somewhere. There we are. So I'll go in millimeters. So the overall length in 1/12 scale is 1,128 millimeters, and the height is 323 millimeters, and the width is 238 millimeters. So issue 2 is £5.99, and it's in 2 weeks' time, and its normal price is £8.99 when it comes out in the shops. If you subscribe, you do get free gifts, and this has got free gifts with it. I forget which the free gifts are now, but if you want to look on the site, the Facebook site that we have set up, you're quite welcome to join that. And as I say, we will be building it. We're unsure at the moment whether this is a test or not. There is a bit of a scenario whether it is or isn't a test. If it's a test, so be it. We are willing to stick our reels in and wait for the test. What I would say, if it is a test, please subscribe to it if you want it. Subscribe to it. Join Harshette and get it, because the more people that subscribe to it, the more chance it has of coming out in the shops and as a proper PARTWORKS. So please, if you are interested in this, please subscribe, and please get your name down for this wonderful model. And as I say, we will be doing it. We'll be doing a live show with it. There'll be a Facebook group with it, and of course, if you want to modify this model, you're quite welcome to come along and show us your modifications. If you're just building it straight out the packet, you're quite welcome to do that. Let's have some fun together, and let's see if we can get this thing built if it comes out. And as I say, 1/12 scale. Partworks are very, very rare. This is going to be die cast as well, same as the bus. So you'll get die cast parts. It'll be very heavy. It'll be very long and very, very wide and very high. But what a first class model that's going to be. It really is. So with that in mind, guys, I've got something else to show you. And let me just move this. We'll move on down. Move along the bus. I was very fortunate in finding a model of this exact model of Twiggy, the DAF 220 cart and cider wagon, 1974. And we'll unbox it, shall we? Let's have a look. See if I might have to find my scissors, but we'll have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Live unboxing twice. You can't say you're getting value for money tonight, can you guys? So here we are. The plastic's coming off. We're going to have a look. Let's slide that down. Let's see what we've got in here. So I'm hoping it's all right. I'm hoping it's not broken or anything. Now then, this is my first look at this, obviously, because I'm only just opening the packet. And wow. So this is in 176 scale, I believe. 176 scale. And this is the DAF F220. I don't know how that cover comes off the plastic. No, I'm not sure how that comes off. I think I might. Oh, it comes off like that. That's easy. All right. Okay. So I'll support the model and we'll bring it out like that to show you. There we go. Wow. That looks superb, doesn't it? Looks absolutely superb. It really
Yes, it does.
Yeah, really does. With all his nice sign writing, and the red and the green and the gold go so well together, and with a bit of white splashed in there too. It's such a vintage colour, is red, green, gold, white, the combination. And I do believe that he had a lot of this sign written as well, instead of its vinyl transfers that they use mostly nowadays. But it was a real craft in them days to sign right. So yeah, there's the 176 scale Twiggy and the DAF F2200, and just imagine what the 112 scale will look like. It will be ginormous. And I think there's plenty of detail in the cab there as well. I'm just struggling with my light at the moment. Let's bring the light right over here, see what we can do. I think that's just making it worse, isn't it? The light. Let's try turning the light out and bring it closer. How's about that? Might go out of focus because I think it's trying to focus on something else. So yeah, that's the Twiggy 176 scale. Eddie Stobart. And yes, I'm looking forward to doing that, and it'll be my first live build as well. So, and there'll be, the dream team of us that'll be doing it. So look out for that in the future. And we'll go back to the chat. I'll just move that up to them too. You can see them too. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the chat, shall we? There's been so much chat in the last 10 minutes. So right, Riser Boy says, I agree, Dano Builds. That must have been about the tattoo. Thank you, Riser Boy.
That's right.
Jordy Dave says, I'm watching. Hi, Jordy Dave. Thanks for joining and watching. And Stephen Owen, I've been listening to your show on the way home from work. We'll catch up with the show. Thanks ever so much for that, Steve. And obviously you're part of the dream team as well. And we've got David Bassett, and hopefully I will be riding in the country area route master RML 2440 tomorrow, as she is taking part in the Sherbus flyby on the A40 tomorrow between Beaconsfield and Oxford services. Wow. Well, that's one of the shows that got the go ahead, wasn't it, because of the COVID restrictions, and simply because there's no people that's milling around buses, and obviously you can social distance, can't you? So it makes it a lot easier, which will be brilliant. So we'll watch out for your video, David, or your pictures. That'll be smashing. So Rosa Boy says, what length when it's finished, Dave? The Eddie Stobart will be 1,228 millimeters long when it's finished, the Eddie Stobart. So 1,228 millimeters long when it's finished. So just over a meter then, isn't it? Okay, so David Bassett says the Eddie Stobart lorry looks brilliant, but like the Hogwarts train, it's only a test build. Yeah. Well, let's see how many people can get signed up to the truck, and let's see if we can force the hand a little bit, shall we? So Jody Dave says one was named after the soldier that got killed in London. Yes, that's correct. It was. And that was Lee Rigby, wasn't it? Yeah, bless him. And Rose the Boy says Lee Rigby. Yes, it was. Jody Dave says yes. Rose the Boy says, are they all $5.99? No. The first issue of the Twiggy Eddie Stobart build is $1.99. The second issue is £5.99, and the concurrent issues up to issue 120 at £8.99. So, and Build with Adrian's shared Facebook group, which must be the Build the Eddie Stobart lorry, is it, Adrian?
That's correct. Yes.
Thank you ever so much for that, Adrian. He's my right hand man, is Adrian. He really is. Johnny Dave says, cool. Where you get that, Dave? Where did I get the 176 scale? I actually looked on eBay for it, and it was priced up dearer than I wanted, but it had make an offer on it, best offer. So I made a silly offer on it, and I was very surprised, and they accepted the offer. So yeah, was very surprised indeed. So it's worthwhile making an offer when you see best offer on things on eBay. David Bassett, is that one of the Atlas Edition models, Dave? Yes, I do believe it is. I think it says that on the model itself somewhere, or the box. It's the special edition collector's model. 176 scale die-cast metal, and does it actually? Yes, it does. It gives me the Atlas editions. Yes, it is. It's one of the Atlas editions one. So yes, you was right there. Okay, and Rosa Boy says, "Wow, that's going to be 4 feet long." Yes, it is. It's going to be absolutely massive. Well, these buses are 27.5 inches long, right? Yeah, they're 27.5 inches long are these buses. So yeah, it's going to be, as you know, a little bit bigger than them. So right, and I think is that it? Is that, have I missed anything, Adrian?
No, I think you covered everything.
I was just having a little cough there, so we'll go back onto that view, and I'll try and change my camera again, and then we'll end the show. Come on, camera. We don't want to move now. There we go. There we go. Right. So I'll move it onto that one because we don't like that one, do we?
No.
So all that remains for me to say really is a huge big thank you for coming along tonight and commenting. Tonight initially was a thank you video for unboxing for a great big box of model buses that I got from Paul 61C70. Paul, thank you ever so much. It's very, very much appreciated. You know they'll be well looked after, and the other bits and pieces too. I'll look after the biscuits; they'll go down very nicely, and so will the nice sweeties. They'll go down nicely. So thank you ever so much for them and the other little presents. I thank everybody for joining tonight and sending me any gifts if you've sent me in the past. Yes, it's sad that the Routemasters finished on 1:30, but there is news that either Horlicks or Penelope's Pit Stop or several other people are going to be still carrying on the Routemaster on their own channels, and so that's brilliant because it doesn't actually end, does it really? And we're going to be keeping the Facebook group open as well. So because there's a lot of people out there that haven't finished the Routemaster, and ourselves included, me and Christine included, we're still on 112, so we've still got a long way to go. And we will never grow tired of it whatsoever. So it'll always be a feature on my channel when I do an update. I'll either update you with models I've found or our models we've got so far, how far we've got with them and what have you. I'll keep updating you, but it won't be as frequent as what it used to be because I've got other things going on in my life as well. So, but I will try and keep you all updated, and there will be guests popping along as well to say their hellos and people to help me, such as Adrian jumped in tonight to help me. So thank you ever so much for that, Adrian.
That's
because
okay.
I couldn't do it without you, so thank you. And I think with the last couple of bits of chat, and P40F20. Oh, hang on a minute. There's one before that. I think, there's one before that. David Bassett says, I will do my best to take photos and videos of tomorrow's event. Thank you for that, David. Much appreciated. Especially the Routemaster element of them. Yeah, that'd be superb to see. Rise the Boy says, I'd like to join in building it, but don't have the room to put it. Right, okay. Well, I do know you've got a big shed, so. But yeah, I would imagine that quite a few people would build it for their grandkids, perhaps, or their children, or something as an heirloom to give away in the future, or just a thought, just an idea, or a nice big display piece in a big cabinet. So
yes.
Yeah, I would have thought so. It would be, wouldn't it? Come on, why did it bring in that comment? Oh, there we are. Looking forward to seeing your. Where's it gone? Show the comment. That's it. So, looking forward to seeing your live build of the truck. Great show tonight, P40F20. So, thank you for that, P40F20. And the comment's going off on it now. So it says, keep the group going forever. We'll keep it going as long as we can. There'll be still plenty of content on there. So long as it's to do with the Routemaster on the Routemaster show, one, or loosely connected to Routemasters, that's fine. And if it's loosely connected to Eddie Stobbart's Lorry the Twiggy, we'll keep that one going as well. And we'll keep the miniature bus one going. And we'll keep all my other groups going too. So, and Paul Wright says, come on. Paul Wright says, You're welcome, my friend. I've enjoyed this live stream to see your wonderful buses. Well, thank you ever so much for that, Paul. And take care now. And mind all them big raindrops in Leeds, won't you? So, anyway, I think it's time for me to say good night after that. So, because it always rains where you come from, doesn't it? Terrible place. It's a good market, though. It was at one time. Right, so thank you ever so much for joining me tonight and commenting. Thank you, Adrian, for coming along and helping me out tonight,
That's
and
fine.
for always being there in the chat and everything, and helping out with all you do behind all the scenes of all the builders. Because if it wasn't for you, we would be well stuck. So thank you ever so much for that, Adrian. And it's a good night from me, and take care now. And I'll pass you over to Adrian. Come on, Adrian.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, thank you for inviting me, Dave. Good show. Nice lot of goodie you got there from other people.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
And of course, I put a little comment where it takes you straight to Eddie Stelbot's where you can subscribe to it.
Oh, thank you, Adrian. Thank you. You see, what would I do without you? Because I'm useless at that sort of thing. So, what would I do without you?
That's
Right.
fine.
Okay. Well, we'll end the show there, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time around. So, it's a good night from me. Take care now. Look after
Good
yourself.
night from me.
Good night.
Good night.